What's up, guys? I've been a little under the weather, but I'm back and I wanted to catch up on the last few episodes, and I want to start with Collins and Natalie.
Having decided to stay in the experiment, the experts are fast-tracking their...
After having decided to stay in the experiment, Nat did not want to stay in the experiment. She was pressured by production to stay.
At this early stage of the experiment.
It was production, it was not Nat. They pressured her to stay.
I know Jodie Lee already covered them, but I have my own little opinions on it because we have slightly different views. For starters, I like Natalie. I think she's a nice girl. Do I think she should have been on the show? No. I think they've taken this girl and exploited the fact that she is grieving over her father. She wasn't ready to be on a show like this. And they've exploited this girl and her grief to paint a storyline which is absolutely ridiculous.
I just didn't feel like I wanted to be there.
As for Collins, like I said in my previous video, what did I say? I called it. He is being painted as a complete a-hole. He's being painted like he's a complete show pony. He's only there for fame. Well, this is Mafs. 90% of the contestants on this show are expecting more than just love. I can assure you, nobody's on there for only love anymore. So I'm sick of painting people a villain just for that. I'm over that now. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't care. I don't care. As long as someone is treating someone with respect on the show, that's who I want to judge. And that is what he's doing. He hasn't actually done anything horrible, but they're trying to paint him out like he is the worst thing on earth. I mean, I'm sorry, we have had way worse people on this show besides Collins.
I thought you were going to come down that aisle, yeah, and completely blow me away.
Now, I want to start with their honeymoon. Collins and Natalie were sent to Broome, which happens to be a hot place, and you can clearly see Natalie's not comfortable. She doesn't like the heat.
I want to go put some sunscreen on.
I'm someone who also doesn't like the heat, so I understand her pain there. And she doesn't want to be there. She doesn't want to be in the heat. She wants to kind of, I guess, snuggle up, get all lovey-dovey, but she's not verbalizing this. She's not communicating this to Collins, so he doesn't know. He is trying to get to know a stranger, and he's trying to come up with activities that they can do together.
Fishing, that was the idea. Honeymoon day 2.
So not super jazzed about going fishing.
I'm gonna find another option. So tour guide, go from there. This beautiful weather.
You know, some fun activities, because what can you do in Broome? I try to Google that, and a lot of the activities is to see the countryside, to sightsee, to see the beach outside in the heat. That is what you do in Broome. So what else can he do with her? She's not coming up with suggestions. She's not communicating that to him. So he gave her fishing. She didn't want to do that. So he gave her the other option, which was four-wheel driving. If she didn't want to do that, she should have told him and said no. Or she should have said, okay, we could do this, but then can we do an activity that I want to do? We don't see that on the camera. She's not giving that option. She's just saying, oh, this isn't what I want, behind his back without him knowing, to production. And then she's being upset about it.
But yeah, just standing on a beach in the full sun. That's not how I pictured spending time together on our honeymoon.
And I can see she's uncomfortable, she's upset, but she's not verbalizing this, and I don't think Collins should be made out to be a villain because of it. And also, if you pay attention and if you look, and I know you guys are smart, if you look at them in the four-wheel drive, she's not liking the heat. Clearly it's affecting her. And he's saying, hey, you can stand behind me and I will shield you from the sun while the guy brings over the car so you can see in the shade. So he is shielding her from the sun while he's standing in the sun. And then he opens the car door for her. I'm sorry, but that is chivalrous. That is gentlemanly. That is courteous. He is actually being kind to her and getting her out of the heat because he can see she doesn't like it. Yeah, that's how I have actually viewed this. And they made it look like he has forced her along when she's not actually communicating that she doesn't want to be there. I don't think he's done anything wrong on the honeymoon.
Tonight was...
Now here's where I won't stick up for Collins. I do feel like he was a bit insensitive at the dinner party. Natalie, you can see she was very distraught. She was upset. She was overly emotional. This process was not for her. She never should have been on a show like this. But you could see that she was upset.
I could tell she was off, but... Whoa, okay.
He was surprised as well because Natalie obviously hasn't communicated these feelings towards him. So as far as he was concerned, they were getting along. He wasn't seeing how distraught she really was until she basically just couldn't handle it anymore and wanted to leave.
Great question. I actually know Collins. He was my friend before even I went on Mafs. So it's quite the coincidence that, yeah, we both went on the show. On separate seasons. From what I know of Collins and from what I see on TV, I see Collins as probably a bit under pressure with the cameras being in his faces, under pressure by the questions that producers are asking him. Under pressure to be making things work with Nat when perhaps he might not have an entire attraction towards her, which is fine. I also see someone who was so excited to be a part of the experiment, and I see someone who's a bit down that it's not panning out the way he expected.
But in saying that, Collins should have been more sensitive and empathetic towards that instead of being worried about himself. I could see he was gutted that his experience was over. I know I would have been gutted too if it was the first week and then I'd have to leave because my partner was upset and couldn't handle the process. Yes, I would be upset for myself too, but you don't show that on camera. You don't. You hold that in until you're at home alone, and then you can be like, no, my experience. You don't show that on camera though. You know, you've got to be more in tune to other people. Natalie was the one upset. You need to show a bit more empathy there. So that's where I won't stick up for Collins. See, I'm fair, guys.
Not as physically fit as some of the other girls.
That's what you're saying, but I don't see it that way.
Lastly, the photo ranking challenge, and this was going to be a lose-lose. No matter what Collins would have done, he would have been villainized for it. If he had ranked her in any other position, people would have said, oh, look, told you so, he never liked her. He ranks her first and they think he's being phony about it. I'm sorry, but every guy on Mafs should be ranking their wife first regardless. And for us to villainize a guy for being nice and putting his wife first, regardless whether he actually thinks it or not, he's being nice to her and putting her first, okay? Trying to put her feelings into consideration, not being an a-hole and say, hey, you're an ugly person. Remember last season? Remember Shannon? Remember him? We gave him hell. I gave him hell for the things he said to Caitlin. Because I'm sorry, you don't say those sorts of things. Now, Collins is not doing that. He is not doing that to Natalie. He is being nice. He's saying she's a good-looking girl. Is she his type physically? I don't know. But I'm not going to villainize a guy. He's not saying anything bad to her. Do I think they're going to make it? Obviously not. They shouldn't be on the show. They need to go. But I don't think he's a bad guy just because he's not sexually attracted to her. And I don't think we should be making him out to be a bigger villain than he is.
Collins is saying really nice things to Nat about the photo challenge. He's ranked her first.
I really do, hence why you're number one.
Hence why you're number one. He's saying some really nice things to her, but listen to the dramatic piano making him out to be a liar.
100%. Still picking that, definitely.
See? What a lovely thing to say.
Very gorgeous looking.
They're making him out to look like a fake with the drama, the fucking piano. They're mowing my boy.
I gave Shannon crap last year for the things he said to Caitlin, which I think they were warranted. He deserved that. I'm not going to give someone crap because he gave a girl a compliment. That is the wrong message we are giving out to people here. Anyway, that is my rant for Collins and Natalie. So the next episode's the commitment ceremony. It looks like Collins is going to be getting a grilling from the experts. I'm curious how much longer they're going to last. I feel like they will be officially leaving, if not this episode, in the coming episodes. I don't think they're going to be around for much longer. Let me know what you guys think. Do you see what I see here, or am I seeing something completely different? Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious and I'd like to read them in the comments. All right, see you in the next one.